Hey everyone, just checking to make sure that the feed is clean and that we have a good strong signal here before we get started. But how is everyone doing tonight? Try to pull the chat up on my phone too, so I have that as another way into the chat. All right. So yeah, we have a lot of stuff to go through tonight. I have a lot of projects I've been working on. A lot of different things I'd like to show you. So we're going to see, it looks like we've got at least 3 people here at the moment. We might give it a minute or two before we go through everything. But one of the projects here is HackTV Live. And so HackTV Live is not to be confused with HackTV, but HackTV Live is rather a standalone application that I created that works hand in hand with FFmpeg to transmit NTSC television, analog television, to a regular TV set. And the cool thing about it is you can change the bandwidth, you can apply your call sign to it. So it's really good for amateur television where you need lower bandwidths. Um, Rather than say 8 megahertz wide, you could do 1.4 megahertz or 2.4 megahertz, just as an example. I will show you what this actually looks like. I just want to see. Yeah, we got some people in here. I just wanted to make sure we had some viewers before I did anything. So, for example, if I come over here, if you don't define a device, it's going to pick the default device for you. But this is pretty easy to actually run. So we've got HackTV Live down here in the bottom right corner. I have my device, which is my webcam. My bandwidth is going to be 4 megahertz wide, and then my call sign 88NT. And let me just grab my camera here. I'm going to point it down to the TV, and I'm going to press enter, and you're going to see a black and white picture. And it's almost in real time. It actually is pretty decent, which is pretty cool. It's very low latency, and the whole idea behind this was to be as low latency as possible, so that way users would be able to use it for amateur television. So this goes from the webcam to FFmpeg, which does the overlay for your call sign, and then it immediately gets sent out as raw video through NTSC using the HackRF as a transmitter. Now, originally, my project had been using OBS to make this connection to the original HackTV software, but I decided to go around that and try to apply all the call sign overlays myself, because by doing the call sign overlays myself rather than having OBS do it, I could cut down on that latency, because it used to be like 5 seconds after you hit transmit that you would actually have your video going. And so with this, it's almost real time. And I'm just checking to see if we have any comments or anything here. But yeah, HackTV is one of the fun ones. We will definitely come back to this because I'm sure, depending on how long we stream, we'll have people drop in and out that are interested in this and other projects. So HackTV Live is available. If you look in the description below, the source code for that software is there. It's written in Go. It's real easy to compile, and I will put in a workflow at some point that will compile that for you and make an automatic release so you don't have to compile it. This is currently a Linux only application, but I'm looking at seeing what I can do to make the library work with Windows so that we can try to make a Windows version of the application, but I'll see how things go. But that's HackTV Live. It does have test bars and other features like that. But the main thing was the bandwidth I wanted to show you. And you can set gain and stuff like that. So the main thing was bandwidth and the call sign overlay. I think it's going to be really useful for amateur television operators, or at least I hope so. And was looking into adding different modulation types as well. Or excuse me, rather different TV formats is what I meant. Then we have BenshiDash. This one is a fun one. This is one I've been wanting to play with for a long time. And so I have the Vero VR N76 radio. So this is a radio that has 2 meter, 70 centimeter, you know, two-way radio, but it has GPS built in and APRS capability. Uh, Now, the cool thing with this is that this has a protocol that has been reversed. So if we look into a library called BenLink, and I'm going to pull it up here on the screen. So BenLink is actually a really cool application here. So this is a library that allows you to control these radios via Python over Bluetooth. So that already gives you a whole lot of interesting things that you can do with this radio. What I ended up doing is I ported the library over to Dart so it could be run with Flutter, which means we can now build Android apps that interact directly with this radio. So BenshiDash is the one that I'm working on for in-car use. It's one I've been wanting to make a video on for a while. So if you give me a moment to get the tablet set up here. And I actually need to grab the cable off the HackRF, and I will live stream the video from our tablet to the screen so that way you guys can see exactly what's going on with this app. So let me just get that unplugged real quick. All right, get this plugged into the tablet. All right, there's the tablet. And then let me go ahead and we're going to run this application here. Full screen that, and now you guys can see my tablet. And we're going to open up BenshiDash. And let's see, my radio is already on, so it should auto-connect directly for us, and it did. So you should be able to see the little icon there saying that it's connected to the radio. And so now you can see that we have VFO1 set to N8XUA, one of our local repeaters. And then we have VFOB set to the APRS frequency. We also have a list of nearby repeaters. Those are currently being pulled from Repeater Book, but I'm looking to pull those from APRS soon instead. GPS follows a new feature that I'm still working on because my tablet doesn't have a GPS, so we'll get to that feature in a little bit. And we also have the APRS section and scan functionality, and then the NOAA function is not yet built in, but we'll get to that at some point. So let me go into the scan feature. This is one of the features I'm pretty proud of with this application. So the first thing it's going to do is read all of the memories in your radio. And I can actually go here and we'll deselect all of these because we don't want to scan all of these channels, but we could. And so what it's going to do is remove all those channels from your scan list. It's going to take a second to do that, and then it'll refresh after reading the channels. And it's going to read channels every time it makes a change because it's important for it to ensure that the app sees what the radio sees. So we can hit the Start Memory Scan button here, and you'll see that the radio has gone into scanning mode automatically. And so this is my scan grid concept from the OP25 Mobile Control Head project. And so the idea here is now that I've tapped this, it has immediately added that to the scan list for us. So if I tap K8CY, that is now added to the scan list as well. And we can go through here and just tap a bunch of these, and now they're automatically added to our scan list. So it's a really easy functional way that, say, if you're driving in the car, you have this set up on a tablet. If you have one of these radios or one of the radios that use the same protocol, you'll be able to just go through, tap any one of your channels, and it'll get added or removed from your scan list automatically, and you can control the whole radio remotely from this tablet. So let me go ahead and stop the memory scan, and then we're going to look into VFO scan. This is a feature that I had to implement directly. It wasn't supported otherwise. So VFO scan is a fun mode as well. You're going to be able to set your start and end frequencies. So if we wanted to do 144 to 145, we just type that in. We're going to do 12.5 kilohertz. And I'll try to show you the radio here. I hit start scan. And you'll see my radio has automatically been switched into a different mode and is now scanning in VFO mode. So it's pretty nice to be able to just automatically do this. And I wanted all of these buttons to be nice and big to make it super easy for users to see exactly what's going on and what they're doing on their radios while operating remotely. So from there, I want to go over to channels. And so channels is going to let you do multiple things. It's going to let you quickly tune from tune mode, which is what you're in by default. So if I tap K8CY, it's going to automatically tune the radio to K8CY, and you'll see that we're already set to that channel. So we have that channel set up. We can go back to channels. We also have an edit mode. Traveling Matt 76, good to see you. And so we're going to tap tune mode here, and it's going to switch us over to edit mode. So in edit mode, if we tap on one of these, we'll actually get a display to edit the channel. Now I did not give the edit menu a driver-friendly UI because you really should pull over if you're going to edit the memories in your radio. This could change in the future, but this is how I left it for now. You can also load memories from presets or backups of your radio. So if I wanted to, I can load all FRS channels, and if you give it a second here, it's going to turn this into an FRS radio. And you can see it's already got it set to FRS 4 right now. We'll give it a second to finish up, and it's going to read all those memories from the radio, and you'll be able to see on screen now we have FRS channels programmed into our radio. We also have things like GPS import, which will use the GPS to import all local channels from Repeater Book. Now, I don't have a GPS in this tablet, unfortunately, so I have hard-coded my location in for debug purposes. So that's how we're obtaining the location at this point, but I'm hoping to do more with that in the future. Now, this is an app that I'm hoping to get into the App Store. If you are interested in testing any of the apps that I'm going to be putting into the App Store, I have a link in the description if you want to put in your email address, and I will update that on Google Play so that you'll be allowed into the beta program if you want to help with closed testing. I need 12 people to beta test an app in order to put it in the App Store. Now, if you're just looking to get a hold of the APKs, I'll give those to any of my patrons. If you want to join Patreon, that's also in the links below, and I can get you a copy of any of the APKs that I'm working on for any of the apps that you're going to see tonight. Let me go ahead and switch over to APRS mode, and you'll see it automatically switches the radio into dual receive and then switches VFOB over to 144.39. And in settings, you can actually update this so that way you're able to see what do you call it? You're able to change the national frequency for APRS in your region. So this is made so that you can set it up in different regions as well. Now we'll see how good the propagation is tonight. Sometimes APRS is great and my map populates really fast and you're able to see a whole lot of stuff and it's really fun. Other nights I don't have good signal. Whoop. We're going to turn that down. I definitely heard something. Other nights I don't have great signal and I just don't get a whole lot that's being plotted to the map. So we'll see how it does indoors tonight. I'm going to sit the radio down and give it a chance to hopefully pick up some APRS packets and plot them to the map. And I'm going to take a break over here for a moment, look at chat, and just kind of see how everyone's doing. So I see the bird was here as well as Andy Pants. Great to see you both. Hi everyone, thanks for joining the stream. So we'll give that a second. Hopefully we'll get something that shows up on the map here. But if not, this functionality is working at this point for APRS. So if you get a copy of the APK or you join the group on Android Play, or excuse me, I guess Google Play, you'll be able to check out that feature for yourself. And then of course in settings we can update several things for the radio. This is how you do your connections to the Bluetooth device, so your radio itself. This is where you set your APRS frequency. Showing the APRS packet path does not currently work, so I'm still working on that. And then you can switch this from dark mode to light mode. So it does brighten up quite a bit. There is a light mode as well. We can head back over to the map here. Let's see if we have any packets. Yeah, we've got a packet at least. There's one up here. And eventually I'm going to make this so that when you tap it, you'll get more information. Some of my other apps that I'm going to show you tonight that also use APRS functionality with this radio provide additional information about the packet when you tap on it. I think that might be a good function for this as well. There's another one. You can see the Worcester repeater is showing up on the map, so we're finally getting some packets showing up here, which is nice. And yeah, like I said, we do have links in the description for both Patreon if you're looking for APKs, or if you want just the link to um, the Google Play beta. That's also there for the apps that I'll be trying to put on Google Play. I just need your email address to add to the list on Google Play. And then this is one of the main apps that I will be making available for beta testing. So I want to try to get this on the Play Store, as well as a couple other apps that we're going to go over as well. So this was BenshiDash, named after the Benshi protocol. So that's what I have for that particular application. And so let me take a look here, show you another one of these apps that I've been working on. Is going to be Benshi Commander. Now, the BenshiDash only works on tablets and large screens, but Benshi Commander will work on phones and smaller screens. So let me get that one fired up so that you can see that as well. And I think we're actually going to use the phone that I've been using for chat, because I want to make sure that you can actually see everything nice and clean. So Benshi Commander, we'll get this fired up. I guess I should turn Bluetooth off on the tablet and disconnect it, because if I don't do that, we're going to run into problems. So let's see, SCR, fire this up real quick. We should get my Android phone. Very nice. And we're going to pair to the VRN76. And this is another one of the apps that I'm going to be putting up available into the App Store. So we'll have beta testing for this as well. And I might need to power cycle this radio. See, Bluetooth is turned on. Let's go ahead and power cycle it, because I was just connected with another app that controls the radio, so it might be getting confused. Restart the radio here, and we'll restart Benshi Commander. Pair to the VRN76. There we go. So now that we have this fired up, you can see the radio there. Let me open up the squelch, and you can see when I open the squelch that shows up on the radio what the RSSI is. If we were to, I'm not going to transmit, but if we were to transmit, you'd see that on here as well. It shows if we're in dual watch or not, and it shows what channel we're currently on. So if I were to flip from one channel to another, you can see that it will show me exactly what channels we have switched over to. Let's see if I go back up here. Oh, it's been a while since I've actually used the front panel of this radio. And so we can change that information. The GPS information is the APRS information on here, or excuse me, the GPS information is hard-coded at the moment, because it is not, I've been working indoors because I've been on bed rest, so I haven't had a chance to actually get the GPS working outside yet. But I will be updating that at some point. The battery indicator is correct, but you'll notice that voltage shows up the same as battery for some reason. And the squelch mic gain and such is also correct. So there's some things that are working great, other things, it has a couple issues with. We do have the scanner, and this is going to be very similar to the scanner on the other application, but you can see that we have all of our memories. We can add or remove them from the scan list. If we start a memory scan, it'll put it into memory scan mode. Whoops. And somehow we lost our connection. So let's see if we can bring that back up. Okay, not sure what happened there. We can also go into VFO scan mode. It works the same way. We start a VFO scan, and you'll see that the radio starts scanning on the VFO. We also have the programmer, and the cool thing with the programmer is it actually has a web programmer built into it as well. So you can load up local repeaters. You can read it from the radio. This will actually use your GPS location, which is nice. Very much preferred. It actually shows repeaters in the correct order. I'm still having some issues with Benshi Commander because it does not get the GPS location, so it doesn't necessarily get the everything correct when it comes to that. I also have a memory library in this application, so you're able to load up channels in a similar way that you could before with the other app. So again, if I wanted to click load here and then write all channels, it's going to ask if we are confirming we want to write, and this is going to turn it into a GMRS radio. So it's going to automatically reprogram everything for you with these memories built into it. And you'll see we now have GMRS channels in the radio. And then finally, for this particular app is the web programmer. And this is to give you something similar to Chirp for programming your radio over. So let me show you how that works. We can go ahead and close that for now. And we're going to go to the address for my server that's running on our phone now. And it's going to be on port 8080. And so this is, oh, get out of here, ad block. Come on. So this is the Benshi Commander, or excuse me, Benshi Commander web programmer. And this will let you export your radio memory as a CSV file so that you can import it into Chirp. And at some point, I will be setting this up so that you can import Chirp files as well. And I also wanted to mention that both in the app UI as well as the web UI, you can drag channels up and down to change their order. So it makes it really easy to reorder channels in your radio. Once they're reordered, you just hit write all to radio, and it will rewrite all channels in the radio for you. So this gives you the ability to write the radio both on the phone directly, as well as through a mobile web app, through a local web page on your network. So you have a lot of options and flexibilities for writing your radio this way. And again, this is one of the apps that are going to be available if you're interested in helping test out apps on Google Play. All I need is your email address to do that. Link in the description below for that. Or if you're looking for an APK of the application, that can be provided to any of my patrons, even at the lowest tier. I will provide APKs to you guys. So support's very much appreciated. And like I said, all I need is the email address to add into Google Play, and I'll be able to get you on that beta program. So this is one of the apps that I'm looking to put into the Play Store. And let's close that up. And we're just going to take a second to check out chat and everything. And give my voice a bit of a break because I just ramble and ramble and ramble. All right. So this got me to thinking, what about interacting with another radio? So I happen to have a UVK5 and a Mobile Link TNC. So I'd been thinking for a while, what can I do with these two devices? And what it came down to is that I'm able to run file sharing applications, BBS applications, basically anything you can think of that uses an AFSK modem, we can now use to talk between these two radios because I have Flutter code that I've put together and I've released open source that will talk to not only this radio, but will also talk to the TNC for the mobile link TNC on this radio. So these two radios can talk to each other to send files back and forth. They can operate at BBS, a whole list of things. So some of these apps are going to be patron only at first, and then they will be released on GitHub rather than Google Play. And then the source code's already available on Google Play, or not Google Play, the source code's available on GitHub. So if you know how to compile the source code, it's already there to play with. But let me go ahead and show you how some of these apps actually work. So let's take a look and see. Roll the dice here. All right, the BBS. The BBS wins, so that's the one we're going to check out next. So for this, we need two phones set up. So we have one phone for the Mobile Link TNC, and we're going to have one phone for the VR N76. And let me see if I have the app already installed on both phones, because if not, we will have to compile those real quick. Go back to BBS. Yep, here it is. So let's go ahead and fire this up on both of our devices. It's actually already open on this device, but we're going to close it and reopen it. And let's go ahead and put that on the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. All right, and so this is the GoBox BBS. And so the idea is that this is a modern take on a bulletin board system that is basically completely contained within your cell phone so that you're able to use the BBS from your pocket, from a GoBox, from, what have you. So we're going to go ahead and connect this one here to the Mobile Link TNC. We'll connect my other phone to the VR N76. And let's see. Oh, it looks like my Bluetooth TNC is not turned on. And let's see here. I didn't turn on either radio, so that would explain why we're having issues. So let me fix that real quick. All right, 145.1. And then, let's see, we're going to take you off of dual watch. We need to turn off scan. And then we're going to do 145.1 megahertz for you. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to reconnect. So connect you to the Mobile Link TNC. Connected. And this will connect to the VR N76. So I'm going to run the server from the VR N76. And we're just going to have the call sign K8SDR. Start the server. And then on here, we're going to run the client. And so we're going to use call sign AD8NT is my call sign. And K8SDR is the club's call. K8SDR. Connect. And it's going to make a connection here. And so you can see we are now logged into the bulletin board system. And so there's no post on the bulletin board at the moment, so we can hit the plus button here. And I'm just going to call this test. And in the body, hello. And I had somebody tell me that I should see if I can send an emoji. So let's see if I can send an emoji. All right, let's see if that works. Post. All right, so now you can see that we have a test from 88NT. There's one message, and if we tap on that, it says hello. And apparently, no, we were not able to encode emoji, but that's a feature somebody wanted. Maybe that's a feature we can add. There is a reply button, so you can say, "Hi, I see you," and we'll post reply. And then the reply doesn't show up immediately here, but what I can do is just hit back. You'll see it's now two messages. We'll tap on that. "Hi, I see you" from ADANT at 12:01 a.m. So the bulletin board system works pretty well for what it is. And let me actually show you real quick. If we unplug this phone for a second and then plug in the other phone, I can show you what the server side looks like. Okay, so here's the server. You can see we have ADANT as our connected client. You can see the post that went to the board. And then if I come back here, I'm actually going to, whoops, hit the wrong button. I was going to disconnect from the bulletin board, but I accidentally backed out without connecting. So that didn't work out. But we'll hit stop here and back out. So you can see that we have a client, we have a server, there's logs, and then the traditional client, which I haven't written yet, but the traditional client idea is going to be for logging into a traditional style BBS. This is just a mock UI for this particular page, but it's the general idea that I'm going with at the moment. And then there's also logs. So you'll see it says listening for packets. If I, for example, tune this to 144.39, 144.39, that's our APRS frequency. Actually, I think I tuned it on the radio that's not listening. That's not on the screen. Let's do 144.39. All right. And then so if we get any APRS packets, you'll see those packets get loaded onto the screen. So there is a built-in way to see packets that are coming in off of the radios, TNC, whether that's the mobile linked or the VR N76. So you can see that we're now getting packets coming in off of APRS into the packet log of our application. So that's another one of the apps that I've been working on lately. Hopefully that's of interest to you guys. We'll jump into the next app here in a minute. I'm going to check comments and see if we have any new information coming in from you guys, and then we'll go on to the next thing. Let's go ahead and disconnect from all of that. And we'll turn that one off. And let's see what we have for comments here. Do 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 do. Well, thank you. It's really cool to be live streaming. I haven't had a chance to do this in a while, and I really wanted to try to get out here and do a live stream again. It's been a while, and I just kind of wanted to get back into it for a little bit. So let me take a look. And so that was our GoBox application. Let's see what else we have. APRS Messenger. This is a fun one. Okay, so APRS Messenger is one of those apps that turned into a website, essentially. So APRS Messenger does not interact with the radio directly. Instead, it uses APRS IS. So if we log in here, KASDR, I'll put in my password. And so what we have here is a nice little interface for APRS messages. And the cool thing with this website is that once you sign up for it, it will listen for any and all messages destined for any of your call signs at any of the SSIDs for those call signs. So you'll never miss another message because every single message that gets passed over APRS IS will get logged into my server and then displayed on the website for your user account. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. We've got Rick and Morty in the background, and there's some crazy stuff going on, let me tell you. So, You're fine. So I have like WeatherBot here, for example. If I send it my zip code, it should respond with the weather. So you have a nice little interface for messages like that. I also have an admin panel, and I figured I might as well just show you what it is because I don't want any, you know, weird thoughts of what it might be. It's a very simple admin interface. Just shows me a list of all the users. There's 231 on here at the moment, which is really cool. I never expected that. We have processed over 37,000 messages, and it also gives me the ability to send an administrative message to all of the users. And that's all the admin dashboard does, so no sneaky looking at messages or anything like that. Although APRS is an open network anyway, anyone could do that regardless, but my app does not do that, so no worries there. There's also a app that goes along with this that I'm looking to put into the App Store. If you'd like to be a beta tester for that app, just leave me your email address in the links below. There's a forum. It's like the first link after the social stuff, so it's probably like the fourth link down in the resources section. And if you leave your email there, I'll get you into the program so that you can help beta test some of the apps that I'm trying to get into the App Store. Because this does have a mobile app that I'm looking to do push notifications on if I actually get users that want to use the app, and then it allows you to log in on the mobile app using a QR code from the website. So it's allow you to share your session key back and forth between the website and the app, which I thought was a pretty cool bit of functionality. I'm trying to see the live chat, but this thing is so not great at showing me that. Top messages, all messages. I love how all messages and top messages are the same thing. Like, I appreciate that all of them are top, but at that point, why have a filter between the two? Let's move on to the next project, Orbit. I know there are people that are interested in Orbit. I have not had a chance to mess with Orbit in a little while, so let's actually take a look at it. All right, and we're just going to run same program we've been running. So Orbit is my satellite tracking application that I've been working on, and let me tell you, this thing is difficult because the math involved, like, it's over my head, but like not even in a funny way. It's extremely over my head. Um, this is stable up to about 24 hours worth of passes. After that, it loses its brains. And so I've set it up so every time you open the app, if it's been open less than 24 hours, it will or excuse me, more than 24 hours, it will automatically update your TLE for you to make sure everything stays kosher. Um, but it does work. It has basic tracking. If we come in here, satellite selection, you can select your satellite from an available list. And it's really easy to add or remove them. You just tap on it and it'll switch from one list to the next, and you hit the save button. So it makes it really easy to update the satellites that you're tracking. There's the update TLE section. I made an active amateur section as well. It basically scrapes the TLE, and then once it has that for amateur satellites, it grabs only the ones I know are active, and then adds them as an active amateur TLE. So that way, there's a TLE of just amateur satellites that we know are still alive. Gives us the ability to actually track satellites we care about and not see a whole bunch of stuff that just shouldn't be there. I don't know why there's a C at the beginning of OrbCom, by the way. I'm just now noticing that typo, so that needs fixed. But that's really all we have in here. Settings isn't done yet. Um, it's essentially just this map. So not a ton done with it at this point, but it is functional. I'm just looking to see what I can do to make the pass predictions more reliable, so that way I can offer notifications for passes that might occur several days out or several weeks out, because until the math is correct, it's just not going to be a useful application. And I can see why there's a lot of apps out there that just aren't that great as far as UI, or aren't that great as far as their tracking algorithm. And I'm learning so much about why that is a difficult thing to do. But it's been a fun thing to mess with nonetheless, and one of the apps that I've been playing with. So this one will not be in the App Store until I can get it to the point where it's actually stable for more than a few passes. But if you're a Patreon subscriber, I will of course be able to get you an APK of this app if you ask for it. And I just closed YouTube chat. I was trying to keep it open, but that's okay. So I've been working on that one. I had a couple other things. Let's see. Benshi Commander we already went over. And whoops. That might actually be everything I wanted to show you tonight. No, you know what? There's one more thing I wanted to show you. Packet share. Where's packet share? Did I not open a window for it? Well, we're going to do that right now. Let's find packet share. So this is to send files. Or actually, you know what? I can't show you packet share because I don't want you looking at the files on my phone. So I can't show packet share at the moment. Packet share is pretty cool though. It uses the exact same UI as the GoBox BBS, except what packet share does is it allows you to send the packets over the air using the FSK modems that are built into our TNCs and our mobile link TNC, our VR TNC, so on and so forth. That's basically what I wanted to show you guys tonight. I'm not sure if there was more people that have come in that didn't see the beginning of the stream. I can definitely double back around if people are interested, but otherwise, that is what I'd like to cover for the night. Let me take a minute and just look into our chat history. If you guys have any questions or anything, just want to hang out, that would be cool. I'm definitely down for that. Let's see, we have a question about the OP25 MCH project. So, yeah, let me go ahead and dive into that then. So, the reason that project has been hung up right now is that I've been struggling with issues with good signal, and I'm talking to a couple people right now that might be able to get me an RTL TCP stream of a good system so that I can test with it. Let me go ahead and open up this application and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about here. So I did rewrite it again in Flutter, and it looks so much nicer. It's a beautiful application, in my opinion. The problem, however, is that it has issues updating the screen with the name of the current talk group. And I need more data coming in off a live system to be able to troubleshoot that. I was going to fire up this application. It might be easier to do it from here. Um, let's see. I actually have an RTL plugged in now, I suppose. We can fire it up. Controller 25. So controller 25 is an interesting application that takes over the place of the old server. And this is what's going to control OP25. And so let me bring up my phone and I'll show you what's going on with the current iteration here. Let's see, where is it? MCH25. Oh, is it really going to give me a tiny screen like that? Hold on. Okay, there we go. So here's my issue is it'll scan, it'll give me the control channel, but I can't get the current frequency or the current talk group tag to show up. I need an active system through RTL TCP because my system's horribly inactive right now in order to pull in that information to fix that issue. Because until I fix that issue, it's going to be really difficult to release the app. However, this is the new version of it. The scan grid is not complete, but it does look a lot better. It's more functional to the way that the other scan grid works. On the other application I was working on, and then we have our site details, which, let's see, we actually have to start up OP25. So let me go into manual configuration. Could not load. Why couldn't we load? Are we compiled for not listening to the local system? Do I need to recompile you? Yes, we need to recompile because it's looking at localhost. So, let me find, I'll show you what this actually does. That's the server. That's the Flutter client. Where's my lib folder? It's in config. Localhost, that's my problem. So, I need to get my IP address. Crap, 192.168. It's ifconfig, you dummy. There we go. 1.240. 168, 1.240. Alright. Eventually I'm going to update this to use multicast DNS to actually connect everything, but for now, this is what we have. So let me get this. Yeah, this actually is supposed to use multicast DNS. That's what I thought. Why in the heck didn't you find it? Now I'm irritated. Oh, because it's looking for. Hold on. It's been a while since I've worked on it because I need this new thing set up. Hold on. We still need to compile a new version of the app. Flutter run. And we'll just give that a moment to compile. And then once that's compiled, we can pop back into the app and I should be able to get it to connect. It's running a lot better than the old version did. When things are set up properly, I kind of got my first curse from the demo gods, if you will, of the night. It looks like I'm about to have another one because it's just having audio failures now. So I'm wondering if it's even going to compile. I might have to play around with this one another time. It's been a while since I've had a chance to work on it, so we'll see if it'll compile. But yeah, I've not had a chance to because I just don't have a very active system out here to do much more past a lot of the UI work. I do have it where it is streaming live audio to the phone, which is a huge plus over the previous iteration that couldn't do that. So I do have that working, at least in the actual application. I don't know about this current build. It's not looking like it wants to. But the current iteration does do that. The problem is the last time I was testing on the local device and I hard-coded everything because I was trying to run it from userland so that I could run OP25 on the phone itself and make it so that way you could do everything on the phone and leave out the Raspberry Pi altogether. But unfortunately, that didn't actually pan out because the audio ended up garbled. My phone's just not fast enough to do it. Maybe some people's phones are, but mine wasn't. And so that's really all the time I've had to test with it so far. It looks like it might actually compile, so I'll give it another minute here and we'll see. In the moment I can check on chat while I'm waiting. But yeah, hopefully that'll compile and I can show you the rest of the application. If not, we'll move on to something else. But that's kind of where we stand with this right now. I need the RTL TCP server before I can really do anything. I got a couple people I'm talking to that might be able to provide me one, so hopefully that'll come through for somebody, and that'll be a huge help on my end for sure. It's probably taking longer for it to compile because it has to compile while I'm also streaming, while I'm also doing this and that and the other thing. I mean, I have 10 workstations open if that tells you anything, or workspaces rather. I do a lot of work when it comes to that kind of stuff. I've been considering as well the idea of making an app during a live stream. I don't know if that's an interesting idea to anybody, but thought about the idea of actually going through creating an app from start and going from there. So I don't know if anyone's interested in that. I know typically coding videos are very boring. However, I think I have an interesting take on it where I've started to use AI a little bit more. And I've actually created tools that help me communicate with AI to help me build a lot of the things that I create these days. So if anyone ever wanted a tutorial on how to do stuff like that or how they could contribute to code of some of my projects, that might be something we could talk about at some point if anyone's interested. Um, maybe have a dedicated live stream to it where we could just build something together. I think that might be fun to do as well. Also planning on potentially, I don't know yet, but potentially another YouTube channel. We're still going to do stuff here. I have the Discovery Dish now, so I'm planning on putting that together at some point once I've healed a little bit more from my recent surgery. So, we can do some satellite stuff again. I'm trying to get Jero to compile. It's being quite the pain with some of the build dependencies lately. So, we're going to see if we can get that to compile. And if so, I can start doing some more satellite stuff again. I think that'll be really fun to do with the community as well. But I've been working on a side channel called Sarah's Forge. And I have a website, sarahsforge.dev, which I've kind of turned into like a resume of sorts. Um, just where I'm building all of my projects and putting things together. And of course, there's other things I've been working on and other code that I've done. But it's just not related to radio, so I haven't gone over it in this video. I figured I'll stick to the radio related stuff for now for this channel, just because that's what makes sense right now. Normally this compiles faster, but having OBS running really is taking a toll on my processor. So, and again, this audio error is not making me feel good. I recently upgraded my Flutter distribution, and I'm wondering if that's causing me some issues. Do we have any questions or requests? Question mark. Yeah, we'll see if this will compile, and then if anyone has questions or anything, and if not, we'll probably end up ending the stream here in just a little bit. Because it seems like things are starting to slow down, so unless we have questions, requests, if anyone wants to see a certain type of app or anything that I've been working on lately, we can definitely go into that. Um, but I've gone over the main things I wanted to go over, and I'm going to leave the video up as replayable. So if anyone wants to check out the stuff I've been working on recently, there'll be a video available of this live stream for you guys to go back and watch if you're interested as well. But at the moment, I'm just trying to chill out, and hopefully this will finish compiling soon. Because I would like to show you at least the parts of the app that are functional, despite the lack of a proper system out here right now. But it's just taking its good old time. It really is. Alright, I know we're all getting tired of waiting on this thing to compile, so... Alright, well, there's still 14 of you sitting here, so I'll wait a minute, but it's still chugging along. I'm surprised any of y'all are waiting for it to compile. No, you're not holding me up. It's a matter of we got a decent amount of people watching, and I don't know if I should start over with some of the other projects, if we've got some new viewers, or if it's been the same group from the beginning and we don't need to do that. So, just trying to gauge the room. This did finish compiling, however, finally. So let's see. It looks like it did connect. I hope it connected. Let's see what we got. All right. Scan grid, details. Says it's not running, so let's see if we can get manual config. Sweet, that loads up. So save and start. That'll start OP25. And so it'll get site details once it hears enough site information. Whether or not it hears that tonight is another question. The antenna is not really in a great place right now, so I don't know if it's going to hear anything. And then we also have the log page, which actually shows the full log from your RTL SDR. And actually, it looks like we had some issues with, I think I had something else running in the background for my RTL, so it gave me an already in use error anyway. But it does have the ability to show you that log, which is nice, as well as, oh, you know what? I know exactly what the issue is. It uses port 8080, and I'm using port 8080 for something else. So let's kill that real quick. Sudo kill all rowshare server. Cool. And then we're going to come back over here, and we will restart controller 25. And we'll just come over here, manual, start, come back to our log, control channel timeout, which is more what I was expecting. I didn't mean to swipe it away, but hopefully you saw the control channel timeout. Obviously that was the main issue we were having. So the log works, the software is, bringing everything together. We're definitely in a better place for the OP25 mobile control head. It's just I don't have a good system for it to cling on to right now. And if I don't have live system data coming in, there's not a lot I can do with it, unfortunately. So kind of at a standstill at the moment, but we'll definitely be getting back to it in the very near future. But all right, well, I haven't heard any other comments regarding starting over and showing some of the other stuff again. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it. I know it was a short live stream, but I got to show you guys all the projects I've been working on lately. Again, if you want to get a copy of any of the APKs, join my Patreon. I'll be more than happy to send you an APK. If you're just looking to join the beta program for any of the apps that I'm trying to get into the App Store, just leave your email address in the form in my description below, and I will add you to the list to beta test those apps, and I'll send you links so that you can get those as soon as they're available. I need 12 testers in all in order to publish an app, so if I can get some testers, that would be greatly appreciated and helpful. And then, yeah, aside from that, hope to see you guys in the next one. There's a whole lot that I'm planning on doing. The question is how much time I have to actually get it done. So I figured a live stream would be a good way to start things off, and we'll go from there. But with that, I just want to say thanks, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye.